All right, so Keanu is a 2016 comedy by the guys who are the creators of Key and Peele. That great comedy show that was on Comedy Central. I think it was the second best thing Comedy Central ever came out with, besides the Dave Chappelle show. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But anyway, the movie goes like this, a little something like this. Key and Peele, they're both cousins. Jordan Peele, on the other hand, in this movie, he just broke up with his girl, or his girl just broke up with him. I think it was probably the latter because he's on his couch in the beginning of the movie, and he's just, nothing's the same without her. And he's just smoking weed, and he's on his couch, and he ain't doing shit. And all of a sudden, I think he hears like a scratch on his door or something like that, like scratch noises. And he opens the door, and oh my God, I gotta tell you, the most adorable cat that I've ever seen in my life pops up. And there's no words to put. There's no way I can describe how cute this cat is. This Keanu is the reason why I love cats. Anyway, he sees his cat, he picks it up, he names it Keanu, and it helps him out. It helps him get through the whole hardship of his breakup with his girl. Meanwhile, your boy, his cousin comes over, Keegan. They're cousins in this movie. And he sees him with the cat, and he's like, "Oh, that's so cute. Now that you have this cat, you can get out and do stuff with your life, and you can stop being so mopey and grumpy all the time about this stupid ass girl." Yeah, he does that for 2 weeks. He just loves this cat. One weekend, well, one weekday, a Friday actually, him and Keegan go out to the club. They try to have some fun. Well, first they go to a movie, and then they go to the club. Then they come back home and to find out that Jordan's house has been ransacked. It's been, somebody has broken into his house, and they have taken Keanu. And he is on a mission to find Keanu because he can't live his life without his new adorable cat. And that is the plot synopsis of this movie. They go on, him and Keegan go on to different shady areas around the town to try to find Keanu. Now, what did I think of this movie? And do I think you would like it? And is it worth your time, energy, and money spending on watching this? I would say this. This is a very typical comedy movie in which I always say this about comedy movies. Your enjoyment of this movie is going to be based on the fact of how much you like the actual comedians that are in the movie. Because the comedians that are in the movie can either elevate this material or downgrade the material. They can play down to the material or they can play up to the material. That's based on the talent of the comedians. All right. And for me, it works in this movie because even though the story itself, not even the story, the script itself is very hit or miss on the jokes. But when they hit hard in this movie. And there were times when I was laughing real hard in this movie. I can't lie. Man, there was times when, Keegan and Jordan, they have to put on because they're going into like the urban environments to find this gang that they think has their cat. This gang called the Blips, which is a gang that got kicked out of the Bloods and the Crips, so they call them Blips. And when they go in to try to infiltrate them because they believe that their cat, they had something to do with the robbery of their house and taking their cat, they have to put on the black thing, because, both of these guys, let's be honest, man, they're both corny, nerdy guys, but they have to put on the black thing. They have to, not the black thing, but the stereotypical what you think, black people from the ghetto or the hood talk like, so they have to go, yo, nigga, they have to really, do all that, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, nigga. They have to really, do all that crap. And I found that kind of funny, especially in the beginning when that first happens, when they first used that word nigga in like the beginning the scene in which they're in a club in this movie, like that whole thing was hilarious, hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. Um, that whole thing, like that whole 20-minute skit, I thought was hilarious. Yeah, and just the dynamic between Key and Pill, I feel it. It feels natural when they're doing stuff together. It feels so natural. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like both of them know how to play off of each other and make the jokes just seem funnier than they are. Because there were times when I was like, all right, honestly, if somebody else had said this joke, the shit would not have been as funny. But when they said it just kind of made me laugh, And then there was times when they would just like overdo a joke, like they would be in a car and they would go, they would go back and forth, 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 and they would just overdo a joke. But I still kind of found that kind of funny, and yeah, it's not a perfect movie, and it's really a borderline film for me because there was like I said, there was plenty of times when I just was like, this is not funny, but for the most part, if I was just to be honest with myself, I would say for the most part, I laughed um, more than I grunted over this movie, more than I was like, ah, like I laughed more. So in that regards, it's nothing more I can do but give it a see it, because I got to be real with myself. I can't, be acting like, oh, I didn't laugh at this. Oh, the racial humor. Oh, it offended me so much. It didn't offend me. They do what they do. Comedians are always bringing up race and politics and jokes like that. As long as you can make me laugh, I have no problem with it, and I had no problem with them, saying things that they were saying. It didn't come off as pretentious or we're being so reverent with this. It just came off as they were trying to tell jokes, and that's what they did. Now, like I said, some of the plot elements, it's kind of all off the chain and sometimes off the wheels. They actually played two other characters in the movie too. They played the Allentown brothers, which is like a group of brothers that are just like the biggest killers in Los Angeles. Apparently, I don't know what the hell is their problem, but they just you know they're like some top killer guys, and they come through and they take drugs, and yeah, you'll see it when you see this movie. What I'm talking about. Um, Other than that, Method Man's in the movie. He's pretty good. He has acting chops. There's somebody else, I forget her name, but she's good too. Nia Long is in the movie. She looks cute. That's pretty much all I have to say about Nia Long. Um, yeah, it's just it's like I said, it's a movie driven by the comedians, and like all these comedies, it's all about the comedian. And if you like the comedian, if you think the comedian is funny, then you will pretty much like this movie. Now, if you watch Key and Peele and you thought their jokes and stuff was hilarious on that show, I think you would enjoy this movie. If you didn't think their stuff was hilarious, you would fucking hate this movie. And I wouldn't even understand why you would even contemplate the thought of watching it if you didn't like them on that show. But there's some jerk offs that do that. they go, oh, I don't like Key and Peele's show, but let me see their movie so I can really get a good estimation of whether or not I like them or not. It's like you don't like them. You just don't like them. You're not gonna It's not gonna change your mind when you watch this. Yeah. So man, I can't get over the way this cat looks, man. I'm sorry. I keep going back to this cat because this cat is so cute, man. Oh man, I love the cat, man. The cat has so many bad ass scenes in this film, man. The cat over here saving lives, helping Jordan out inside of a car, man. Like it was crazy, man. I love that cat, man. Yeah, borderline comedy is definitely something that I laugh more than I didn't. And I realize it's kind of stupid, but yeah, I liked it. There's also a voice cameo by Keanu Reeves in this movie. if you give a fuck. Of course, he's a voice character of Keanu. At some point, who gets a voice through it's through a dream sequence though. So don't get your hopes up too much. All right. So anyway, in closing, I like the movie. I give it a see it. Okay, I'm out. And remember, like, subscribe, and comment below and let me know what you thought about this movie, Keanu. I'm out.